Welcome to Uber Tales. Don't shoot the driver. Don't shoot the driver, people. We're just here to tell you the nitty-gritty, the real, the true, the nastiness of the underbelly of the Uber driver. Okay, no, maybe not the underbelly, but you guys.
Underbelly of the car, maybe?
The underbelly of the car. We're here to talk about the stories, the tales of the brave men and women that drive Uber. Right, guys?
It sounds about right to me, Bobby.
That's about right. We're here to tell the stories, and boy, do we have a story for you today. I think I am usually not privy of the stories,
right? And
today, neither is Joshua. Joshua,
all
so
new boys and girls.
You're here with Bobby, Brad, and Joshua today, and we're just gonna go and see what happens.
Yeah, we're gonna. What's the saying? We're just gonna fly by the seat of our pants.
Seat of our pants, and it's already getting real.
Seat of our
pants. Is it though? I don't know.
Is it? No. Brad's got me worried. He's got me
worried. I don't know. I don't think it's that bad, but I think it's an interesting story.
Well, interesting.
Right.
Okay, so. Give us a setup. What kind of day is it? Is it a beautiful, sunny morning in the...
It's Easter. It's a gorgeous day. I'm up in Park City. The Easter day. Okay. So I was up in Park City. I got this ride request. It was from the St. Regis, which is up in Park City.
What is the St. Regis?
St. Regis is a hotel. It's a very, very fancy hotel.
It's a nice hotel.
It's nice.
Yeah, very, very nice. So
how nice is it?
In terms of stay, I would say it's a 5-star hotel.
5-star.
You're paying probably, I don't know, anywhere from $500 to $2,500 a room, if not more.
Oh, okay. So you're going to probably be picking up somebody that has some cash.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good thing, right?
Yeah. Right. So the funny thing is like, so they have at this resort you have 2 pickup locations, and most of the time when you have a pickup, people are going there for the vintage room. They're not actually staying there.
What's the vintage room?
It's basically just like a bar area that they have up there.
It's where people go to party.
Yeah, you can say that.
Oh, so this is at night?
No, this is actually during the day.
Oh, okay.
So what actually happened was, as an Uber driver that goes up there, you learn to call and check in with that person to see where they are. Because a lot of people will request it when they're up at the top. But they actually have to when they request it, they're taking a funicular down to the lower level.
A what?
Funicular.
That
Basically,
sounds like the way you speak. It's your vernacular.
Right. Something like that.
I think it's vernacular.
Yeah, I think it's vernacular. Yeah.
So
you're using all these big words, Brad.
I know, right?
Damn, I'm
how dare I?
I don't know.
Thank you, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Excuse me, pardon me. Oh, wait. No, I meant to.
Ooh, even better. Yeah. I like it.
Okay, so you're vernacularing down they take.
Yeah,
the,
so you're
is
going
that like
down.
an elevator then?
Essentially, yeah, but it's on the side of a mountain.
Just say goddamn. So you're going.
Essentially, but you're going down the mountain.
Yeah, you're going down the side of a mountain.
Oh, because this is a ski resort.
Yes.
Right. That would have helped to understand.
I did
that.
Say that.
You did?
I did.
Okay, I don't know where I was. All right.
At least I think I did.
Here we are. We are totally vernacularing down the ski resort in this so-called elevator, but it's not. It's something else.
So yeah. So anyways, you learn to call and check to see where they're at. So I call this lady. Let's say her name's Kennedy. So I call Kennedy, and
Kennedy.
I'm like, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
remember, people, names have been changed to protect the guilty.
Right. So I'm sitting there going, okay, where are you? And she's like, oh, hey, yeah, I'm up at the top. I'm up near the residence. So I'm like, okay, cool. So that's where I'm making my way.
So I didn't realize with Uber, there's a lot of calling the people.
Not really. I mean,
okay,
it depends on the situation.
Like
with this one, like I knew that like it's a tricky one because like I was saying, people will request it as they're up in the vintage room. So it'll go off of their location.
So and when your app, it says their phone number, and you just call it?
So they actually Uber protects people and their privacy, so they have like virtual numbers. But I have the
option to contact them.
So you can contact them.
So you contact them through some kind of virtual thing.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Oh, there we go.
Right.
See,
Learning
this
something
is
new every day.
this is an educational podcast,
Right.
people.
From time to time, we like to educate.
Time to time.
So
There's no redeeming
Right.
value. Sorry.
None.
Go ahead.
So I call her and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm up at the top." So I make my way all the way up to the top, and there's actually, because it's a residence area, it's actually a gated community. So you have to check in with security. You got to go through this like process of making sure and verify who you're picking up, this and that. So I'm sitting there going through this process, and then she texts me through the app and says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm actually down at the lower one." So I'm like, "God damn it, now you're just wasting my time.
Oh.
What the hell?"
So you had talked to her?
Yes. Talked to her, confirmed she said she was up at the top, but no, she was down at the bottom.
How did she not?
I
She's
have
just-
no fucking
At
idea.
this point, she's screwing with you.
Exactly.
Let's screw with the Uber driver.
Right.
Do
So
you
I'm
get
like,
that a lot? Do you guys get screwed with?
sometimes it
happens,
depends.
Yeah,
It
it
happens.
does.
Well, that's going to tie into my Uber gripe when we get to that.
Oh,
but,
very
but
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I go. I'm up there checking.
So you
in
went
with
through
security
all of the crap to go through security to
Yep.
find out that you need to not
to turn around and
be there.
basically go back.
Go someplace that's
Yeah.
easier to get to.
It's easier to get to, but it's still more of a pain in the ass because the driveway over there is smaller. They're building onto it right now, so it's a little bit harder to if it's busy, get in and out. And it's like 5 minutes away. So I'm like, okay, now you're just wasting my time. Come on, let's go. So she calls me, I go back down, I get her, and it's
Yeah. You can't just say I get her on the show. We have to
That's
know
true.
what happens. You pull up.
so I pull up.
We're gonna have to rate her. I mean, if you're gonna go with a girl, I'm sorry, guys.
Right.
Yes, it has to be done. I mean, we have to have a picture in our
Right.
head. Does she have a really cool little bunny suit? I mean, not bunny suit. It's not a bunny suit. What do you call it? It's what you wear to skiing. A ski suit.
Oh,
Yeah.
ski suit. No, so she wasn't there to ski. So
I'm so confused
right
now.
So I'm making my way down. So it's kind of steep where you have to go up to the resident site. So I'm making my way down, making my way to Deer Valley towards the front of it, and I go to pick her up, and she's waiting for me, and
What does she look like? Come on, give it to us. She's
She's-
pulling up, and
she's like a Southern belle. She's kind of got like white glasses
okay.
on, blonde hair,
Oh,
kind of has a little bit of an
Belle.
accent.
See that sets
Right.
it up much better.
Absolutely.
Southern Belle. Ooh, she got a cute
Right.
little jacket on.
No.
Is it
I mean, it was
cold?
kind of warm out. I mean, it was like 40 degrees, so up there it was
Was
not
her
cold, but it was nice.
Was her shirt tight?
No, she was in a dress.
Oh,
Even
even
better.
better.
Right.
Nice.
So
Flowy?
kind of
Beautiful,
kind of a long
classy.
dress. Yeah, I mean,
oh,
your typical
a long
Southern
dress.
belle. Yeah,
Oh,
Sounds very classy.
right.
Yes.
I like it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I get her in the car, like after being, irritated that I had to go all the way to a different location. Get her in the car. She's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought I was here. I thought I was
How
there."
did you
I'm like,
get her in the car?
Well, she got herself in the car.
Okay, then why'd you say I got her in the car? I'm just trying to. All I see is you like throwing this lady in the car.
maybe
I'm just
I
trying
did.
to. I know that's what I'm asking. So she got in the car.
So she got in the
You
car.
didn't get her in the car. Okay, all right.
Fair
I'm
enough.
just trying to
Paint the
picture this thing.
I get
here.
you. So she gets in the car and she's like, "Hey, happy Easter. I'm so sorry. I thought I knew where I was. I didn't know where I was."
So I've learned. Did she get in the front? Did she get in the back?
She got in the back.
She got it.
believe
So
or
she
not.
did
Yeah.
what she's supposed to do.
She did.
Okay.
So, but to be fair, I think she might have gotten in the front seat, but thankfully,
you looked at her real evil, like,
right.
get out of here. You know what? You know
Right.
what
Know
you're
what to
supposed to
do.
do, lady.
Yeah.
So funny enough is the valet actually opened the door for her, so she got in the back seat. So they knew
Fancy.
to just open the back door.
Back
But
door.
I had a feeling she would have gotten in the front seat if she had a choice.
Did she immediately grab your shoulder?
She did not, unfortunately. Wishful thinking on that one.
Okay. Well.
So
So wishful thinking meaning she is cute.
she was cute, yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
How old was she, Brad? Like, what was the age?
Yeah, I
this
mean,
year?
we need
exactly.
a setup here. We need
Yeah.
something to go on. We got
I
to
would
picture
say
this
yeah,
person.
I would say mid 30s.
Okay.
So yeah, so
An
Not
adult.
bad. Yeah, an adult.
Been
knows what
around
she's
the
doing,
block once
right?
or twice. Still beautiful.
Probably. I don't know. She's a Southern Belle.
Hey,
After
what
all.
does
I don't know.
that mean? Being around the block doesn't have to mean dirty, bad things. It could be.
Hey, I didn't
just
go there.
she's
Did
a
you?
Smart. He did. He started laughing like been around the block. Maybe she's the CEO
I feel like
of a company for all I know.
Kennedy from the block. Who knows?
We've thrown bad off. Yeah. All right, bad. Go ahead. Get us back. All right. So she's like
right,
mid-30s, Southern Belle, beautiful.
Yeah, so Southern
beautiful
Belle.
dress.
So
Yeah.
I get her in the. She gets herself in the car.
There we go.
Right. I'm learning. So I
You could have said the valet opens the door. We're gonna get better at this.
we will.
storytelling.
Well, we will. So I go to so when you get a ride and you get them in your car, you have to swipe to say like, okay, I got them, and then it tells you the location of where you're going. So
So you don't know beforehand?
you have like a little snippet that kind of tells you where you're going.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you the exact address,
doesn't.
Oh, interesting.
but it tells you the time and it tells you the mileage that you have to go.
Uber's really trying to keep anonymity between
Well,
everything and.
That one, no. I think they're just trying to fuck with drivers, but that's a personal opinion. We'll get into that
All right.
later.
Okay, got it.
So anyways, I see where we're going, and we're going to the montage. So if you guys know Deer Valley, there's two sides. So you have two roads that you go up. One is called Marsac, which is
I
where
guarantee you the guy
montage
in
is.
Germany that's listening to this show doesn't know where that is.
They got
So
they
go
got
ahead
the
and-
internet. They can look up a map.
Yeah.
So, and then the other, so down at the base of Park City, just off of Main Street, there's a roundabout. You go up the first exit, and that's Marsac. You go up the other one, it's Deer Valley Drive.
So really quickly, just
So-
if you are in Europe, we do have roundabouts, just so you know.
Absolutely.
Most Europeans
Yeah.
think
I
we
know.
don't know the freaking how to
Well,
drive.
we
and
have
stuff.
them, but people don't know how to use them. Like fucking morons.
It's just the game of
Okay.
both.
All right, you're right.
So,
Yeah.
You're right.
another gripe for another time.
Okay.
So the St. Regis is up Deer Valley. So you basically
St.
my
Regis,
right
is that a hospital?
no, that's the resort.
Oh,
St. Regis Resort.
Sounds like a
hotel.
hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Gosh, I
Regis. Yeah.
Right.
It's like,
got it.
So you're going up. So you basically to the montage. I have to go back down, go through the roundabout, and go up the first exit. So what you do, and it's kind of a steep and gorgeous drive, but so.
Steep and gorgeous,
Right. Absolutely. So it's a fun one. You know, you get to
Beautiful
see
girl in the back.
you get to see these valleys, and it's awesome. So it's probably only like a 10-minute drive.
Is she
So-
talking to you?
She is. So we exchange pleasantries, Happy Easter, this and that, and yeah. So she starts telling me, kind of like where she's from, and she says she's from Missouri.
And she
And
starts breathing on your neck.
sure did. Not. So I'm kind of asking her, like where she's from. She tells me she's
Does she
from
have a
Missouri.
deep voice? Is it sexually?
Nah.
Sorry, guys. I have to go there because
I
Bobby's
get
getting
it.
excited.
In more ways than one.
Is there more ways than one? No, go ahead.
Not touching that one. Literally,
Thank you for not
figuratively.
touching that one.
I'm just. Josh is just gonna be quiet. Over here. Just-
I know you're kind of quiet over here,
I'm
dude.
just listening.
So she's
Yeah.
she. I'm just trying to picture so I can understand this Uber thing. Does she lean up to talk to you? Is she just back there
Nah,
talking?
she's just
and
in the back. She's just talking.
This voice from the back.
Voice from the back.
Okay. All
So like I asked her, I'm like, so what brings you to Park City? She's like, oh yeah, well my partner, he's been up here before, and she said partner, and I'm like, huh, what are we dealing with here? We dealing with something different? But she kind of alluded to he, so I was like, oh okay.
You just never know with partner.
Yeah,
Partner's
it's such a
very
generic
generic
term
term.
nowadays. You're like,
Very
okay,
open.
what am I getting into here?
Yeah. Don't misinterpret.
Right. Want to make sure I get it right. So she starts talking to me. She's like, oh, yeah, well, I'm not much of a skier. I used to be, but I have bad IT bands, so she didn't want to go in it because she couldn't really physically do it that day.
IT bands.
Uh-huh.
What is that?
It's basically on the back of your leg. It's a muscle that gets really, really tight, and it's hard to walk.
Oh. It's hard
So,
to walk.
right.
Hard to do positions.
Yeah, you could say that. And a lot of other things.
We're never gonna let Brett tell.
I know, right? Eventually we'll get there.
I've tried to listen to it like, where are we going with this?
Josh was, you both, Bobby, shut up, please. We're just trying to, and I'm just trying to, have a picture
Of
in my
course.
head. I'm
I
trying
get
to
it. I get
picture
it.
this beautiful lady that can't.
Picture her tight IT band.
Do we need to Google an IT band just to show
I
Bobby
don't know
what
what
it's
it is.
Get with
Yeah,
it.
I don't know what it is.
So anyway, so she's not skiing that day. So she's like, yeah, my partner's up there with some friends. So yeah, so I was like, well, that's cool. And, we start kind of talking and going back and forth, and she starts telling me the story, and she's like, yeah, so my partner, his kids were actually falsely imprisoned. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm like, really? I'm like, tell me more.
Yeah, that's a hell of a
Right?
way
I know.
to lead in.
Absolutely. So she's like, yeah, he was actually in prison for like a month over like Christmas, not this past Christmas. Her partner's son.
Okay. You said children's.
So
Meaning more than
her partner does have more than one kid, but the one that was falsely imprisoned was the one that we're talking about.
Okay.
So he was falsely imprisoned for like a month, according to her, over Christmas, not this past Christmas, but the one before. So like a year and a half ago.
Yeah. Definitely a story there.
Definitely a story there. So I'm like, oh, what's going on? So she starts telling me like, yeah, so there was this incident that happened, and
Incident. Come on. Did she tell you?
she did, but we're getting there.
Okay. All right. Patience, Bobby.
Right.
Jeez.
So she's telling me like this incident happened, and there was like 7 different kids that were kind of involved in this incident, and she's like, they're actually suing the state because of the false imprisonment. They didn't even like, they just picked him up and threw him in jail. They didn't like interview him. They didn't ask him any questions. No, this is in Missouri.
Oh, okay.
So she starts telling me this story, and like I'm like, holy shit, like wow. So like I'm like, I can't believe this. I can't believe like this really happened to this kid. So the what actually happened was there was these kids that were hazing another kid, and apparently through somebody's I guess admission, they shoved a lightsaber up his ass, and they were arrested for sodomy.
Okay.
So
This guy's strange.
right,
This guy's
it got
strange quick.
really, really, really strange.
A lightsaber.
A lightsaber.
Yeah,
and
that's-
with that, I had so many questions. I was like, well, whose lightsaber is it?
Well, yeah, that's always
Right,
The question.
that's the first one. I'm like, who the hell thought of a lightsaber?
It just happened to be there.
And it just happened to be there.
Was it in a park? Did you say?
I don't know. She didn't tell me. And here's the sad part. The ride was so short, I couldn't get all my information. I tried to get as much as I could before she left, and I stayed a little bit longer to kind of finish the conversation with her. But I was really intrigued. So what she did tell me through this conversation was that this is what happened. Her son, or her partner's son, was like, he was involved, but he wasn't really, like, everybody's innocent. Like, everybody that was involved, from what it sounded like and what she was
exception of
telling
the
me,
dude that had the lightsaber.
what she was telling me was she thinks that the story was like made up
By the person?
by the person, by the is it the not the accused? Is it the accuser?
The victim?
The victim.
Victim? Yeah.
If you get a lightsaber up your ass, you're definitely a victim.
well,
Okay? Just one.
Hey, you never know nowadays. He may have liked it.
And it was
He,
a
they,
dude.
I don't
was
know.
It, was it a he? Or
I
was it a
don't
she?
know.
Oh, really? You
I don't know.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Unfortunately, I know.
You need
The one-
to learn
the
how to
one-
get
I know,
details
right?
from your people.
Hey,
So-
I can only do so much in a certain amount of time. I
So
gotta let them talk.
She tells you someone's had a lightsaber put up their ass, and her partner's son was in prison for it.
Uh-huh.
Where do you go from there?
Yeah.
Right? That's
That's
the hard
all
part.
you-
I mean, it's like how
So
do you
now-
navigate that situation?
And-
how do you
and-
sit there and try to keep a straight face when somebody's telling you something so
Yeah,
serious?
it's like,
And how do you? I mean, if everybody's just hanging out, but we're saying that it was probably fake, or
Yes.
since the person was no longer in jail, did they find out that it was? Man, when people do stuff like that, I think they should be put in jail.
Oh,
Yeah,
I 100%
absolutely.
agree. I mean, that's just
dude, you're ruining people's lives.
exactly. So what she did tell me before she left was
The
that
person was creative. I mean, that's a pretty creative
Right.
lie to come up with. Lightsaber, he put a
Right.
lightsaber up my rectum. Anyway,
Right.
okay.
yeah. So what I did get is that they are actually suing the state for false imprisonment and
When you
all
say
this other
they
stuff.
all, were they
So,
all put in? So
yes,
a bunch of kids
they
were
were.
put
I
in
think
jail?
I think she said there were like 7 of them.
Wow, you
Wow.
would think that would be all over the news.
You would think.
Something like that. But with our world so crazy now, I guess nobody
It's
gives
probably
a
just
crap
got
about
put to the
stuff.
wayside, and something else probably
pretty
came.
bizarre.
Right. So, but she said that they were suing the state for this false imprisonment and all this. So they're hoping to reach a settlement soon. So that was a pretty interesting twist of tales. I wish I had more time to talk to her because I really didn't. I mean, I tried, but I was like,
That's a bizarre one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's throwing me for a loop.
You know,
here.
do you guys get that a lot? Do you get like people that tell you kind of intimate
Yeah.
stories
Yeah.
Oh,
and really
absolutely.
All
interesting?
time. Mm-hmm.
we're a therapist, we're a confessional. I mean, what else are we? I mean,
Feel like a priest sometimes.
Yeah,
People
you
are like
just,
confessing.
I absolve you of your sins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just
like
3 Hail Marys and you're
Right.
good.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
go
essentially.
take off and you're good. I mean,
Right? So that's where I
I'm
was
an
like,
Uber driver that you can trust me.
right? Exactly. Well, I mean, the way I look at it is I think people tell us so much shit because it's their way to just unload. It's
Yeah.
we're
Never going to see this person
Exactly.
again,
See him again.
probably.
Exactly,
yeah.
I can totally...
exactly.
You know, this is not somebody I think is going to come back to unless they're on a podcast. And
Right. You never
on
know.
a podcast.
I'm sure people could look that
The
situation
funny
up.
part is
Yeah.
I actually thought about like as she was getting out of the car, I was like, holy shit, I would love to just kind of tell her story on this podcast and get it out there.
See, that's why I'm thinking the show could be interesting, not just to have Uber drivers, but maybe
Right.
have some Uber passengers come on and tell their
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah, we could
Absolutely.
I mean, if you guys ever have like that, you could have said,
Absolutely.
hey, you know what? Would you be interested in having a say on our show or something? I don't know. I don't know if we're
Right.
going to do stuff
It's
like
an
that,
idea.
but it is
Absolutely.
an idea.
No,
think.
I totally think it's something
What do you think,
that we should do.
listener out there? We have one, I think. No, we have more than one. I'm just kidding.
Maybe half of one.
Why'd you have to go there, Brad? What are you saying? Half of one. Is this the wheelchair guy?
Yeah,
What
that's
are you
what I
saying?
was thinking. It's exactly
You
what
read
I
my
was
mind.
thinking.
You knew where I was going.
As we said, Brad is an asshole.
I totally am. And I am A-okay with it.
But he does carry Clorox wipes in his car.
Damn straight. Thank you for that, by the way. If you're
All
out
right.
there listening.
If you're out there listening. Them sons of bitches.
Right.
Wow, that's interesting. I think we'll do more stuff like that, and I
Right.
think that's cool. So you guys, as you're out there driving, because you are both currently Uber drivers. That's something we haven't said. You know, you not just have been, but you still are currently.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I bet now that you're doing the show, this kind of makes it a little more. Are you always thinking about this?
Oh,
Is this
absolutely.
going to be the one that's going to hit it on the show?
Absolutely. I'm always looking for people like their interesting stories. I mean, not only just to know about them, but I want to
It's
understand how I
interesting.
can use it for the show.
Okay.
You
How I
you
can
learn
be
a
a
lot.
philanthropist and give
Right.
back. No, no.
Exactly, right?
How I can use this to freaking manipulate things and get it on the show and
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
give a voice to the unheard.
to the people.
Exactly,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
This
my way
is-
of giving back.
I think
Precisely.
this is going to be a fun little experiment. We're going to, so just so folks know, we are going to have other Uber drivers on, and we're going to
Absolutely.
We're looking at doing interviews with other people, and even Uber drivers all over the country. So
Absolutely.
we'll get, I think, a whole different kind of vibe and stuff from them. With that said, should we go ahead? Were you going to say something?
No,
about
I was
it?
going to say now we get to know who the real assholes are out there.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
Not
man.
just me.
Who knows? Yeah, this will be an interesting experience to see.
Absolutely.
Most
I mean, I know
will.
you two guys. You seem fairly sane.
I don't know about Josh.
you know,
Pretty sane.
I've been out to lunch
think.
with both of you a few times, and I think you're sane individuals. I'm curious how sane all the other Uber drivers are out there. Or do you think
I'm not worried about the Uber drivers. I'm worried about
But
the people that
that
are getting the rides.
Yeah.
Okay, well, with that said, maybe we should just jump into Uber gripes.
Yeah.
You guys got some gripes today?
I'm going to let you go first, Josh.
For some of my gripes, I think it's when people get really upset that you don't open like a back door for them to put their suitcase in, or pick up their luggage and put it in.
It's like, dude, I'm an
Brad
Uber.
knows, look.
I'm not a freaking, what do you call it, bellboy?
Exactly. They're
Bellhop?
like, the expectations that you get out, pick up people's luggage, which they'll just pile up. Who knows how many bags. I kid you not, there's been chicks with like 4 bags. And then, like the biggest one's like, my God, what the hell did you put in here? A bunch of bricks, and you like try and put it in there.
So
and
that
then they
sounds
expect you
like
to get right back out.
It.
I mean,
No.
I will. Well, not always. Brad knows. I'm like, I ain't getting
Always.
out today. I ain't getting out.
like,
I ain't
that's
doing
it.
Do you
I
ever?
just- so-
doing this.
Yeah.
I am not doing this today.
I'm like, not
Get
today.
your own damn bags.
Well, there's different levels of Uber. There's like Uber Comfort, for example.
If she's super hot, though, come on, Joshua.
Get out there,
Ooh,
show
I'd
the
get out for
muscles.
that.
I'm like, no.
Yeah,
No,
here,
there's-
let me help
So
you.
there's regular Uber, right? Just your standard Uber ride, and then there's also Uber Comfort, where it's supposed to be more of a
comfort.
yeah, it's more of a comfort drive or whatever.
They'll put
So
you
for that,
bags.
I'll get out, I'll grab their bags because they are paying a little extra for that. So it's like there is compensation there. But I mean, otherwise, like
no frills.
yeah.
Get in the back of the car, damn it.
So that's my gripe, and I know Brad right now.
Hurry
He's
up.
always
I'm just gonna slow down as you get out. I don't think I have to stop.
Tuck and
all the
roll,
way.
bitch.
yeah, grab your suitcase and roll with it.
Here, just check that out really quick. I can't actually stop in this road.
Right? Yeah. I got no brakes. You just got to jump out.
God, no
Yeah.
brakes.
So that's my gripe. It's getting out, having to pick up people's luggage.
It's just expected.
It's just
That's
expected.
rude.
Yeah.
Oh, people, if you're listening, it's rude. Don't expect them to get
Unless
there.
it is
Right.
a comfort ride or it's a, premium, whatever, then that's the expectations on the driver now to get out and provide that extra service, which I do.
You should do that to begin with.
Oh, so you
Doesn't
I
matter the
don't know.
driver.
So you get out and put their bags
Hell
in?
yes, I do.
Oh,
Brad
and
knows
here's
the
well,
updates.
hold on.
Yeah, see,
Here's
this is
why.
where,
I don't want any fuckers fucking up my car.
oh, bang,
You never
crash,
exactly.
boom.
That's the
Like,
only
here, let me
reason
get
I
that
do it.
for you. Not because I care about you, because I don't want you
Well,
screwing
yeah,
up my car.
yeah.
Man, that's the cherry on top. It
You look
appears
like a
that I
decent
care.
human
exactly,
being.
right?
Ah!
Exactly.
All right,
You're
I'm the
figuring it
scumbag.
out.
I'll take it. Fine. I'll take it. Fine.
Absolutely.
I just picture you in the car and the chick standing out there waiting and you just sitting there.
You've got called out for it before.
Hey, I have, but you know what?
Looking over at you and you're just sitting there.
I was like, can be just like that.
Fuck
Bobby.
you.
It really, yeah. Fuck you. I ain't fucking do that.
It's your shit. And who's the asshole now?
Come on. Honestly. Yeah. You know what? I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Dude.
See,
I'll own it.
I'm not the only asshole here.
Yeah,
Come on
you-
now.
Well, you've got your what is it? Not scruples. What am I looking for? You've got your standards.
Standards. Yes.
That's a pretty low bar.
That's a pretty low bar.
Brad wants that tip.
Exactly. I mean, why else are we doing
That
it?
could
To
make the
money.
difference between a $2 tip and a $5 tip.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I've only once been called out. Only once. And, honestly, I didn't like the lady. She was super rude. She was eating. She was spilling, leaving chips everywhere. I mean, she was terrible.
Oh.
Terrible.
Do you think she did that because you didn't help her?
No, she did that because she was a
I don't know.
CFO of a big company,
geez.
which I won't say. And she just felt very entitled.
Interesting.
Very entitled.
Story for another day.
Well, I mean, this one's just more of a begrudging
Gripe.
to me.
Yeah,
it's
this
just
is
a
a gripe.
gripe.
This is a part
it's
of the
not even
gripe.
a good
Yeah.
story. She just
Did
messy.
she? What
and
happens
rude.
when you drove up? Did you drive up and you just sat
I did.
there? And because she's a CFO
No.
of a company, shouldn't she have that main plan or
Yeah,
whatever?
and
you said?
and they had
the ultra
they had,
Uber plan.
They had valet there. I assume the valet guy was going to help because he was standing there with her.
She put her stuff in your trunk.
She literally just walked back, like herself. Now, usually if and I've seen this, where if they expect you to, they will, set their stuff down and then come and sit inside. She didn't. She literally walked back. She's open, and my doors were locked. She was like literally trying to open the back hatch, and I was like, okay,
trunk?
like, yeah, the trunk I meant. Yeah, she's literally just doing it herself. So I was like, all right, and here's the other thing, with some women, you don't want to try and supersede and just be like, okay, I'm a guy, I'll do this. And they,
chivalry.
You've been
Yeah,
called
that
out on
shows
that.
right
Have you
there.
been called out on that, Brad?
No, because I do it.
It's not because they're a girl. You do it for a
No.
dude too.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
it for everybody.
Yeah.
I have,
I don't discriminate.
Yeah,
I have,
he's by suitcase.
Buy a suitcase.
I was trying to think of what would you say that putting suitcases in the car, what would you call that?
Equal opportunist?
Well, I was gonna try and
I don't know.
I was just gonna try and twist the buy in there, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's
Yeah.
move on.
So
Epic fail.
yeah, that's I have had girls where I've stepped out and they're like, dude, I got this. They're literally like, hey, I got this. I'm good.
She looked at you like, don't you
No,
touch my bags.
Yeah, I've literally gotten out, and like try to like, oh, I can help you with your and they're like, no, I don't need help. And so I've gotten out for nothing. I feel like a fool, and I'm just like, okay, because some girls are extremely independent and they don't want you to help them.
Right.
They feel like, hey, I
So
can do
how
this
did this
myself.
lady call you out? We jumped around. I apologize.
Oh,
What-
well,
How
yeah,
did
she
she
gets
call you
in.
out?
She's like, I have never, I have never,
and I
I
realized
never.
was that
Yeah, that
just
that thick, and then ferocious. I
She
have
is
never, gotten an Uber Comfort, which it wasn't an Uber Comfort ride, but
you
she
tell
said
her
it
that?
was. Well, no, because I'm just like, oh damn, I'm about to get a tongue lashing here. So I'm just like, okay, I'm listening. I'm like
Accept
trying to engage
my-
because, again, you never know people. Who knows how angry she's about to get.
Right.
So she's like, I have never, had to put my own bags in an Uber Comfort ride. And in my head, I was like, I don't think this is an Uber Comfort ride. But then I was like, I'm not going to say anything,
Right.
because it's best just to let people complain and not.
So you knew for
engage.
sure it wasn't.
It
Or-
wasn't. No.
How do
Yeah.
you know that? Is
Because-
it come up on the thing?
Yeah, because it
it'll
comes
tell
up
you.
and you have to swipe to start the
Don't you
ride,
think
and
it
it'll
would
tell
have
you
been-
comfort.
You should have. Why wouldn't you just say, hey, this actually isn't a comfort. I apologize.
Because,
she wasn't having it.
Yeah, because honestly, she like when she's like that in the back, she's already angry. So I'm just like, you know what? If you engage,
Calling her out
yeah,
might
if you
not be
call
a
her
good
out,
thing.
and I got to ride with her for the next like 25 minutes, it may not be a good idea.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's going to be a very unpleasant, 25-minute ride.
But
so I'm just, I'll let her be.
like-
And I was
you
like,
didn't say anything.
I said, I'm sorry. I said, I didn't even notice. I thought the valet was going to help you because he was standing
Oh,
there,
so that
right
sounds-
beside. Yeah, but
Sounds like
You
he's
covered
taking
your
care
ass.
of the
I
situation.
covered my ass, and by the end of the ride, it was, I would say, semi-pleasant, only because I was asking her questions like, oh yeah, what do you do for work? That's how I found out she was a like a CFO. Yeah, and she was telling me about her products that her company does, and I was like, okay, that's nice. And the more she was talking about her
Sex
business,
toys.
yeah, Bobby's on a tangent today.
He is.
It was a
I'm
makeup.
trying to juice up the story.
Well, this one ain't that juicy. It was a makeup.
I know
line.
that's what a makeup
It was a
line.
makeup
Come
line,
on, you could have
yeah.
stuck with the sex toys. That would have been better. Come on.
Damn
Yeah,
it,
they're
Joshua.
main-
You let me
If she
down.
was the CFO of a sex toy company, I bet she would have been a lot more fun and a lot more exciting and just happier with her life. This
probably
chick
a little
looked
bit
like
more
she
relaxed.
hadn't. Yeah, she hadn't
more
had herself a good time in a long time. Just putting it out there. Okay, so
Yeah, what kind of products are there?
that's
Okay,
my
that's
gripe.
your
We went on a
gripe.
tangent.
All
That's
right.
my
We
gripe.
got
Yeah.
this gripe. All right, Mr. Brad. what's
Mine's
your
a little bit easier. I don't have to go into detail like that.
gripe? Okay.
My big Uber gripe for this week is when people text on the platform and say, be right there, and then you got to wait 10, 15 minutes. It's like, what the fuck? Come on, man. Don't
That's
be an
fair.
asshole.
Yeah.
If you say you're going to be right there, be right there.
What do you think's going on? What they're just? Why did they say be right there and they're not? Is there any reason that they would not? I mean, did they
I can
not
find
realize?
them. I have literally watched people like, oh, I'll be right there, and I'm literally staring at them. I'm like, this son of a bitch. If that's the person
Exactly.
who's just talking to his friend, and I'm waiting here for like 5 minutes, I'm watching this dude
That's what pisses me off.
kind of
I'm
walking
like,
towards
come on,
me,
man.
but he's also talking to his buddy. He just stops, and you're watching people have a conversation. And you're like, that better not be I better be my fucking rider.
Have
And
you
then
ever-
it is.
Yeah.
Like 9 times out of 10, it is your rider. They're just having a fun little conversation with people before they leave.
Exactly. And then
Why
I'm like,
did they
you
even?
motherfucker.
Why would they say be right there? What should they say? Just hey,
So-
dude, you're gonna have to sit there because I'm talking to my friends. So screw off.
Well, my rule of
What
thumb.
I mean, what?
Okay, at least the way I look at this, if you request an Uber and it shows you that you're 3 minutes out and your driver shows up, don't be an asshole. You ordered the Uber, either cancel it or get your ass in the car. One of the two. If you're not
Yeah,
ready to go,
it's
you're not
pretty
ready to
simple,
go.
Bobby.
Does sound fairly simple.
It's pretty simple.
but if you're in a really good,
You know, like,
if
I mean,
your
I
buddy
understand. Like,
Get their number and text them.
exactly.
I can tell this
FaceTime
is
'em.
a real. This
Call
is,
'em.
wow,
Yeah.
this is a good one. I can tell you
It
guys
is.
have some
little animosity.
Yeah,
Right?
some-
Just a hair.
I mean, you know,
Ooh.
you sit there for like 7, 8. It can get ridiculous. And you're like,
Oh,
what
yeah.
the hell? Because you've already drove there. I mean, you know.
and you don't get paid. Let's just make it clear.
You
don't
do.
Get oh,
but
you do get paid.
you
to
get
sit
waiting
there?
time, but it's not worth
Let's-
anything. It's like
Look,
it's like 20 cents a
it's
minute.
like cents. Okay, it's like literal. You get
Yeah, it's like 20 cents a
you're
minute.
getting like a couple nickels or dimes. It's not. You're not actually getting any type of.
Oh, that's interesting.
Decent compensation.
You know, Uber should listen to the show because if they
Right.
made that more expensive, don't you think the people would like get that and go, "Hey, if
Yeah.
you're farting
Yeah.
off, this costs you $1 a minute."
So
Yeah.
to be fair,
If it was $1 a minute, don't you think they'd like get in the
people
damn
would-
car?
you would
people
think.
start
So
hustling.
to be fair, you get 2 minutes when you show up. So you have 2 minutes that you're paying for to get
when
to
you
your.
guys drive up and you say, "I am where you guys said that I
Yes.
should be,"
Yeah.
I have stopped. They have 2 minutes.
2 minutes
open
to get
the
in the
door
car.
And get in the car.
After that, that's when the time starts to charge you. But again, it's only 20 cents a minute, so it's nothing.
So if it was $1 a minute, you think people would be a little bit more
Probably.
I think that would be more fair for us.
That would be
as
more
the-
fair.
as the driver. Yeah.
So and then you get
that
people.
poor
moving.
handy kid that was 30 minutes in. Though.
Well, you got to remember, I wasn't getting paid for that because I couldn't drive to the location.
because
So
it was
I wasn't
blocked
getting paid
off.
shit. I was just sitting there.
Boy, we should also do a segment that is like the obstacles of an Uber driver. What obstacles you have to get over and figure out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be
you
a
guys
good
should
one.
think
That's
about
fair.
that
Yeah.
obstacle. I'm going to write that down.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's my Uber gripe for the week. I don't know why it pisses me off. It just makes me feel like you're better than me, or you can just make your Uber driver wait.
Yeah. You feel like
Yeah.
kind of
You're
like,
less than human.
Right.
You're just
We're just a
those
worker bee.
Yeah, just a
Just
worker.
piss off.
yeah.
And the funny thing is, most Uber drivers are not that. That's
No.
the funny. I was just talking to somebody today, and he got picked up. His Uber driver picked him up in a pimped out Mercedes, and the dude makes like $300,000 a year, and he does Uber just to write off his Mercedes.
Yeah.
He says he just does it enough to write off the car.
Pretty smart.
Right.
and he's
actually.
like, he makes $300,000 a year, and he's driving an Uber.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we all have lives.
Oh,
we all
absolutely.
do
Yeah.
plenty in the marketplace and et cetera, et cetera.
It's
Yeah.
just a side thing to
a side
do
thing.
because why not?
Well, yeah, I mean, like, you guys know my story. I mean, the whole reason I Uber is it's a business development activity for me to find leads for my day job.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win for me.
Yep. Yeah. Super cool. Okay, guys. Wow, this was a very informative
Right.
episode. So are you guys good? Are we good to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we're
I think
good.
that's the story.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. We will see you next time for Uber Tales. Don't shoot the driver.